G'day and welcome to the show. Salt Covers here. Let's take a little trip down memory lane for those of you that are new. We started recording YouTube videos probably about 5 weeks or so ago. And that first 2 weeks of the show, we got down as bad as 29 and a half units. As you can see on screen, there was a day where I didn't post a video, so made a post on YouTube. You can go check that out on my profile. That was as low as we got. That was our rock bottom day. Minus 29 units. We stuck with it, and now we are just in an excellent position now. Just having a great March. Look at that March. 53 units up. All here, all documented. There might be a few plays here and there where I've added them after the show. You can go check my Twitter out for that. But for the most part, like these plays that we've been adding after the show, they haven't been doing very well. Like, say for example, 2 days ago, I added a play on the Pacers money line against the Lakers. That loses. I had the Pacers and Lakers under. That game lost. Like that, those two plays turned a great day into a solid day. But yeah, make sure you like the video, subscribe, comment down below if you disagree with any of my takes, you are tailing, you're fading me. On 112 subscribers as well, so love to see that.
One pair of pants later.
Okay, so yesterday we went 4-2. And we weren't holding like the greatest tickets yesterday. Like we had a few that finished behind the market. We had a few that kind of just didn't even have CLB. Looking back, Dallas +7 at Orlando. Dallas win that one outright. AD coming back, Orlando, bit of a sell high spot for them. 7 points against the Mavs team with AD. A few too many in my opinion. That game closed at 6.5, I believe. And yeah, our strongest ticket of the day was the Wizards Pacers under 238. That closed at like 235. That game finished at 271. The Pacers scored like 160 points. Just crazy. We also had the over between the Heat and Hawk. That was a bad ticket going into that game. That game closed at like 225, and for the most part of the game, the live total was hovering around that 225 mark as well. Hawks and Heat had a high scoring fourth quarter. Ended up getting the W there. Game finished at 234. A really good read was the Lakers and Bulls under. Like I said, teams in the Lakers spot coming in a revenge spot where they lost by 20 points as home favorites. The under hits like 65% in those spots. Projections like the under. That under was looking very good for the majority of that game. That last minute of just craziness in that Lakers-Bulls game nearly cost us the under. That game finished at 236, even though the live total was getting as low as like 220. We cashed OKC -10. That spread did move towards us. It got to like 9.5, then it probably closed to 11. J-Dub got ruled in. Like to see that. Glad he's back. OKC are just a matchup nightmare for Memphis. That's the cap. OKC now 4-0 straight up and 4-0 against the spread against the Grizzlies. They just have so many guys they can throw at Desmond Bane, Triple J. Desmond Bane was like 1 of 15 that game. And yeah, so we cashed OKC against the spread, but one that we did not cash was the over. We really liked the over that game. That was a bad ticket going into that game. Closed at around 237. Had that total projected at like 247, so tough one to beat, tough beat there, but solid day overall, going plus 4.8 units. Love to see that. Let's get into the slate. How many games have we got? We've got like 6 or 7 games, I believe. 7 games. I've got about 5 bets locked in. two of them are not tailable at all because we're playing a middle. The rest of them, maybe like one or two of them are still tailable, in my opinion. So first we have the Cavs and the Pistons here. Let's bring this game up. No, not the Clippers and Nets. Cavs and Pistons. So we have a spread that opened at Cavs minus 9.5. Now it's at Cavs minus 5. We saw the rec books open it at 9.5. It did not last for very long. Went to 6.5 very quick. I believe that's where the sharp books opened up. Now we've seen movement down off the sharp number towards the Pistons. Pistons, no Cade for this matchup. Cavs coming in off a back-to-back spot. They did beat the Spurs, but that game was a little bit too close. Not a lot closer than what you'd like it to be. Mobley should play this game. He did rest the last game, but given this line movement, I would expect either Mitchell or Garland to sit. Probably Mitchell. Projections have this at Cavs minus 2.5, minus 3, assuming full health, Pistons and Cavs. Yeah, I'm definitely annoyed I didn't pick up a Pistons plus 9.5, but now at current numbers, you know, I've been harping on the show quite a bit that, like, the Cavs, they are a team that I want to back when they're sitting guys out because they're so deep, but this is just not a great spot for them. They're on a back-to-back. They also have the Clippers on deck. They're playing the Clippers on Sunday. That is a game I've got circled. They definitely want to go in and beat the Clippers. I hope that line comes out at a nice number for the Cavs because I do want to back them in that game. But yeah, definitely seems like it's priced out here. Maybe if we see Donovan Mitchell get ruled out, this gets to like Cavs minus 4, and then you can maybe get in on the Cavs. Yeah, fairly clean injury report besides Cade being out, but I do expect Donovan Mitchell or Garland to sit this game. Looking at the total, we saw this open at 231 at the rec books, 230 at the sharp books, and now we've seen under movement. Now at 228 here at Bet365. Circa is at 227.5. Bookmakers at 227. So clearly Pistons action, clearly under action. I agree with the Pistons action. As for the under action, I'm going to be straight up with you. I'm not entirely sure how to price Cade being out. Obviously, he's good offensively. You do have Dennis Schroeder stepping in at point guard. I'm not sure how Schroeder impacts the pace. We know the Pistons have been harping on about how they're a top 5 pace team in 2025. I'm not sure how Dennis Schroeder impacts this, whether he plays faster than Cade or not, but I've got nothing on this game. We've clearly seen some big shifts here, both to the Pistons and to the under, but I have nothing on this game. Next, we have my Clippers in Brooklyn, where this is the game that I've got the most action down on. So, we'll start with the total. We saw FanDuel open this total at 211.5, and we saw Bet365 open this total at 216.5. That's 5 points of separation between the two. Me looking at those totals, I'm like, look, I have no opinion on this total, but if you've got two totals that are 5 points apart, you just play both sides. I played both sides for 3 units each, trying to catch a middle. Like, the worst thing that can happen, like, at least one of those bets are going to hit. The worst thing that can happen is I lose a third of a unit to the big loss. But if this game falls on 212, 213, 214, 215, or 216, I win like 5.5 units. It's extremely low risk, extremely high reward. If both of those bets hit, then we're starting off this Friday off to a great start. I really like that middle position as well. We tweeted that one out. I reckon this total is gonna close somewhere between those numbers, 211 and 216. So we're feeling really good about that that middle. We tweeted that out. Make sure you go follow me at Salt Covers. Whoever is following and watching, I hope you played into that because that's a great middle to be holding. Looking at the sides is where we're taking an ugly dog. That's right, we've got the Nets plus 12 betting against my favorite team. Yeah, so interesting spread movement. So this spread opened at Nets plus 12 at the rec books. I saw that and I matched it against the projections, and I knew this was not going to be a good spot for the Clippers. And I was like, yeah, look, I'm grabbing this. I do not think the sharp books are going to open at 13, and they opened it at 13. So look, I could be holding a Nets plus 13 at the moment. I wish, but we're holding a Nets plus 12. What I do like is that the sharp books have moved back to 12, so clearly a bit of Nets action coming in. We love to see that. I reckon this number continues to move towards the Nets. I reckon this closes at 11, maybe even 10 and a half. So go and grab Nets plus 12. We tweeted that out. If you grabbed a Nets plus 13, like, props to you. And yeah, look, sometimes you just gotta hold your nose, you gotta close your eyes, and you just gotta place the bet. This is an ugly dog we're taking, but we have clean injury reports on both sides. Zaire Williams is questionable, but Cam Johnson, D'Angelo Russell are in. Nets, with Cam Johnson in the lineup, they are 62% against the spread, 34 and 21 against the spread. That would be third in the league. This is just a great spot to sell high on the Clippers. They've played really well recently, but like I was speaking about earlier, they do have the Cavs up on Sunday. They've spent a little bit of time in New York. This is their first and only trip to New York this season. Always a bit of a fade spot. Another angle I'm playing into is that these two teams played in LA in January, and the Clippers won by 59 points. I think that's the biggest win this season. That's the biggest defeat of most of these Nets players' careers. The Nets also lost by 30 against the Raptors in their last game. You'd think they're going to get up for this game. Like, will they win this game? Probably not, but I just know they're getting up for this game. I feel really good about this position, backing the Nets. You know, the Nets, yes, they've lost 8 out of their 10 last games, but they're actually 7-3 against the spread in the last 10. They've got 2 covers against the Celtics in the last 10, 2 covers against the Pacers. They've covered against the Cavs. They beat the Hawks and the Lakers outright. Lakers had Luka that game as well, I believe. Yeah. I think they had Luka, yeah. So look, even though they've been losing, they've been covering these big numbers. They've been doing that this entire season. I really like this position against the Clippers. Like, you lose to a team by 60, you're going to get up next time you see them. They just lost by 30 as well. They're getting up for this game. Let's move on. Feel really good about that position. I've been watching the Clippers more close than anyone. Next, Hornets and Raptors. LaMelo Ball is out for this game. RJ Barrett is out. Both teams are more or less locked into their draft positions. Got the Raptors, third best team against the spread this year. You know, we saw this spread open at Raptors -6.5. We've seen movement towards the Hornets. Sharpbook's now at 5.5. They opened at 6.5 as well. Yeah, I've got nothing here on the side. Obviously, the projections like the Raptors. I like the Raptors as well, but I'm not going to fade the market. And like the Raptors, they've just been doing some funky shit with their rotations, like just not playing their starters in the second half. Also, we've seen the total drop down a bit. We saw this total open at 217, now 216.5 again. I'd say Raptors and under, that's what I like, but I do not have any money on this game. LaMelo being out, definitely an over player, so Hornets worst over team in the league, so starting to look like an under spot, but I do not have any bets down on this game. Next we have the Knicks and the Bucks. Knicks might not have a point guard this game. They're probably going to be starting Tyler Kolek this game. Giannis is questionable. McBride is out. Campaign questionable. We saw this game open at Knicks -1. It is starting to move towards a pick'em at some of the sharp books. So seems some Bucks action coming in. Maybe Giannis will be playing this game. Knicks have owned this matchup. They're 2-0 this season against the Bucks. They've blown them out both times. Cat is definitely a mismatch for Brook Lopez, but Bucks can probably throw Lopez onto like Josh Hart, Giannis on Cat. I like the Bucks in this spot. So projections at Bucks -3.5 or -3, accounting for fully healthy teams. I'd say Brunson's worth more to a spread than Dame is. Definitely like the Bucks here, but I haven't played them yet. Maybe if I see it move to -1, then maybe. It seems like most of the boards I'd pick them. Looking at the total, we saw this open at 221. We've seen some very sharp action towards the under. That does make sense given Dame is out. Projected total at 228. So if these teams are fully healthy, we'd like the over. We know they're not healthy. Looking like an under spot, looking at the market movement, but I do not have any action on this game. Knicks, maybe one of the better bets still on the board. Next, we have the Suns and Timberwolves. You know, Ant loves playing these games against the Suns. We saw the spread open at Wolves -8. At the rec books, it opened at Wolves -7 at the sharp books. We've seen some movement towards the Suns. Now it's 6.5. Wolves have owned this matchup. I mean, they swept the Suns in the playoffs last year. They're now 3-0 straight up this season against the Suns and 2-1 against the spread. Last time they matched up in Phoenix, their game was a pick'em. 8-point swing towards the Timberwolves seems a bit excessive. So if you picked up a Suns +8, like, good on you. That's a great ticket. I do not have any bets on the Timberwolves and Suns. I'd say, Suns are definitely the spot to take if you are just itching for a bet. Looking at the total, we saw this total open at 224.5 at the rec books. We saw the sharp books open at 226. We picked up an over 225 for 3 units. Wolves at home are 60% to the over. Suns also 60% to the over on the road. 2 out of these 3 matchups have gone way over. 2 out of the last 3 matchups have caught over steam. Timberwolves shoot 5th most threes in the league. Suns allow the 9th most threes in the league. Nobody can keep up with Ant in this game. Projections at 230.5. We saw the market moving up. We picked up an over 225. If you can get a 226, I would still go grab that. That's as high as I would play this. We saw this get up to like 227.5. It has since moved back a little bit, but I still like the over in this spot. Go grab a 226 if you can. Next, we have the Warriors and Pelicans. Some very interesting line movement in this game. I mean, Steph's questionable, Zion's out, CJ's out. Going to be a lot of Jordan Hawkins this game. Probably too much Jordan Hawkins this game. Line opened at Warriors -13.5, now at 14.5. Projections at Warriors -9. That's assuming Trey Murphy, Zion, CJ are all playing. They are not playing. Steph's questionable, but you may as well just block out the projected line given all the injuries. That's kind of the story of the day. But looking at the total, where we've seen some very interesting line movements. So this total opened at 226.5 at the rec books. We saw this open at 222 at the sharp books, and it has steamed all the way back up to the square number of 226 now. Let's just refresh that on screen. So up at 226 now. And we've seen one of the sharp books move to Warriors -15. So given this line movement, it definitely looks like Steph is playing this game, given this line movement. I unfortunately am holding nothing on this game. It'd be nice to hold over 222 or Warriors -13.5. We did not get those, so that's okay. I think the numbers are fairly priced out at the moment. Probably don't bet into this game until you know if Steph's in or not. Last game on the card is where we are holding our strongest ticket of the day. Let's get straight into it. We are holding an over 237.5 in this Jazz Nuggets matchup. Projected total at 244. Denver against top 10 pace teams, 15-5 to the over. Utah against top 10 pace teams, 14-6 to the over. That's both spots 70% of rated to the over. Denver at home when they're playing top 10 pace teams, 7-1 to the over. I wish I got a bit more action down on this. I only played this for 2 units, but now seeing the total at 240, we are holding a great ticket, 237.5. I hope some of you guys got on that. I think this total actually has room to continue to climb up a little bit. If you can pick up a 239.5, I would go play that for a unit. I would go play that for 1 unit, 239.5. We're sitting happy with our 237.5. We got 2 top 5-ish pace teams, 2 top 10 over teams, 2 of the worst defenses in the league. Yeah, that's right. Denver are one of the worst defenses in the league. They're like 23rd in the league. So yeah, we like that. Looking at the spread, so we have this game projected at Nuggets -14.5. Jazz on a back-to-back, so we see the spread at 17.5. Yeah, I'd be taking the Jazz over the Nuggets for sure in this spot, but do I really want to back the tanking Jazz? No, I don't. They're on a back-to-back. They're liable to do some weird shit with the rotations, so nothing from me here on the spread. Jokic is probable. Should have a fully healthy Nuggets squad for this game, so let's have a look at our best bets for today. 5 bets on the card. 2 of them, that middle is no longer available. Make sure you go follow me on Twitter. We love that middle. If we hit that middle, we're gonna have a great day. And that Nets Clippers total, I'm almost certain that closes somewhere between those numbers as well. It's currently sitting at 215.5. We also have the Nets +12. So if you picked up a Nets +13, good on you. That's great. Love to see that. Seen a few people comment on Reddit that they picked up a Nets +13. So seeing all the sharp books move back from 13 to 12 that's what I love to see. That's the most important piece of line movement for me. Because that first bit of line movement is just movement towards where the sharp books opened. That wasn't someone putting 10 grand down on Clippers -12 at FanDuel. They will not allow people to do that when the lines get posted. They will not allow people to do that. So yeah, we're feeling really good about that net spot. That is still available. We also like the over in the Wolves and Suns game. Got that down for 3 units at 225. If you can find a 226, I would still go play that. And then our strongest bet, or our best ticket on the card is our smallest bet, and that is the Jazz and Nuggets over 237. Got that down for 2 units. If you can find a 239, I'd play that for a unit. I think this one keeps on going up. Make sure you comment, follow, all that good stuff, man. We've been on a great run and we plan to continue it. We've got some great bets down today. Nets plus 12 still available. Go grab it. Until next time, let's get them books salty.